there was a point in time in my life when I was going through this very low phase, which I attributed to things like, menopause or, some hormonal imbalance or something like that. I was attributing. But, it was not subsiding. The thoughts were not subsiding, not suicidal, but I was feeling very not happy about what is happening around me. Then, I realized that I need to talk to somebody. I need to tell something to somebody that what I'm going through అని. అది ఈ థాట్ మనుషులకి రావాలి అంటే ఏం చేయాలి అంటే ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది ఇప్పుడు చుట్టుపక్కల వాళ్ళకి ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది దట్ దిస్ పర్సన్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ దట్ సూసైడల్ ఆర్ లో ఫేస్ టెండెన్సీ ఆర్ మనకు మనం ఎట్లా ఇప్పుడు నేనంటే I realized that okay, something is wrong. I need to talk. I need to consult a doctor. అట్లీస్ట్ పోనీ అట్లీస్ట్ అమ్మా నాన్నకి చెప్పాలి, హస్బెండ్కి చెప్పాలి అని ఒక ఫీలింగ్ నాకు మైండ్లో వచ్చింది. బికాస్ ఐ బిలీవ్ ఎవ్రీబడి విల్ గో త్రూ దిస్ ఫేజ్ ఎట్ సమ్ పాయింట్ ఇన్ టైమ్ ఇన్ దియర్ లైఫ్. అది ఫైనాన్షియల్ అవ్వచ్చు, రిలేషన్షిప్ అవ్వచ్చు, ఏదైనా అవ్వచ్చు. ఐ ఆల్సో వెంట్ త్రూ. చూసే వాళ్ళకి how do we recognize what are the warning signs of somebody going through this phase?
Yeah, thanks a lot for asking this question, Prema, because I think the moment you recognize a warning sign that somebody is feeling suicidal, then there is this opportunity to help them. You know, the first one is what we call conversational signs. There could be a conversational warning sign. What I mean by that is, imagine you're my friend and I'm calling you for my birthday party. Imagine I tell Prema, come to my birthday party. No, if you don't come, you'll miss it. Next year I won't be there. You see how I'm telling? Isn't this a warning sign? Then it's time that you make time and check with me, Ashwini, is everything okay? Because you called me for birthday party, I understand, but you also told me that you won't be there the next time. Is everything okay? Is there something that you want to ask? We need to ask. Conversational warnings. And imagine I'm a school student and then I'm asking my friends during lunch break, hey, which is the easiest method to die? Imagine a friend listens to this. Instead of thinking, hey, what are you telling and moving on, if at all I report this to my teacher or, the parents of this friend, for all, we have an opportunity to say. First one, conversational warning sign. The second one could be sometimes, people may engage in behaviors wherein they're trying to get closure. For example, trying to get closure means maybe I live in an apartment, let's say. And in that WhatsApp group that they're in the apartment, I'm telling 10 things that I'm sorry for to my neighbors. I'm telling Prema, I'm sorry. The other day you told me good morning. I didn't wish. I'm sorry for that. The other day I was smoking in my balcony. If the smoke made you feel uncomfortable. Many times people who are thinking of contemplating suicide might engage in behaviors wherein they're trying to get a sense of closure, like asking for forgiveness or making a will. Suddenly out of nowhere, I want to make will. Or suddenly imagine a parent gets all the family members, children, maybe their parents, a spouse, and tells insurance, these are the insurance numbers. This person you need to contact if I'm not there. Imagine, we should do that when we buy an insurance. Right. But in India, insurance amount goes unclaimed because nobody has told the family members. In such a country, suddenly somebody is calling all the family members and then they are like, note down. Is that not a warning sign that we need to be careful about? That could be one. The other way to look at it is withdrawal behavior. Withdrawal behavior meaning
not interested in anything.
Not interested in anything. Or somebody very social and now they are not coming anywhere, or no response to messages. Yeah, these are all signs of withdrawal, social withdrawal, emotional withdrawal. I'm aware of a case where this person, one student in North India, in fact, I was conducting a program on suicide prevention, and then the group actually spoke about this. The student who was involved in student unions and all that, on his WhatsApp, the DP, the display picture, he had a hanging noose. The noose. Many people saw the picture, and they thought that the student union was also, they were very much talking about Bhagat Singh, the patriotism. And we know Bhagat Singh was hanged by the British. When the fellow students saw that the student had that noose as the WhatsApp DP, they thought it is something to do with Bhagat Singh,
Oh.
and they didn't check at all about what happened, why do you have that particular picture. Unfortunately, luckily the person survived. Unfortunately, what happened meanwhile is this person sends another message to all the friends telling, I've been having that hanging rope noose for almost 15 days as my DP. Nobody even bothered to check with me if anything is okay with me. And that person tells, then even if I'm alive, dead, it doesn't matter. Now, you see, sometimes people are displaying warning signs, sometimes with the hope that somebody will intervene and just check, is everything okay? And when that doesn't happen, can you imagine what pain one goes through? We're talking about these warning signs so that the community is observant and empathetic and is willing to give that necessary help. These are few warnings, and some more could be excessively obsessed with talking about death-related matter. I distinctly remember a case in one of the counseling sessions. Parent got a child for my session, and what was happening with this particular child is always talking about which celebrity died of suicide, give me a list. And I remember that child asked me also, ma'am, are there psychologists who have attempted suicide? Excessively preoccupied with death and dying related matters. Another warning sign, Prema, can also be giving away prized possession.
Okay.
Something that you cherish. You're just giving it all up. For example, one child gave away, I don't know, I mean, you look like, somebody from my generation. Not, do you remember that Hero pen?
Yes.
Yeah, Hero pen was like a big thing.
Hero pen, Hero cycle.
Hero cycle. This is something, Hero pen, and I'm recollecting something from my, childhood. In one of the schools where I studied, so unfortunate, back then I didn't understand this was warning sign or something. Retrospectively, this is what I gather. There was this girl, I forget, 6th or 7th standard, okay, who gave away 2 of her Hero pens, okay? And the whole class was like, what's wrong with you? You're giving away Hero pen, not a pencil, not that Nataraja pencil or something, Hero pen. Nobody understood it from it being a warning sign of suicide. This girl gave her 2 Hero pens, and that night, I think she consumed pesticides and she was no more. She attempted suicide and she was no more. Later, the rumors were that she was getting sexually abused by her uncle, But then what I'm telling is, wasn't that a warning sign? If somebody in the school looked at it from that perspective, could have asked, is everything okay? Correct. Are you in need of some help? Why are you giving away that 2 Hero pens, which children prized it, valued it so much? See, these are all warning signs, Sometimes a warning sign could also come in the form of engaging in risky behavior. Imagine, when we want to live, survive without much problem, we are careful, right? But when somebody is contemplating suicide, this is especially relevant among youngsters.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, and I want you to remember it in the form of 4S. 4S. Imagine, here is a college student thinking of, suicide. And if there are friends, I would definitely encourage watch out for. Instance, speed. Suddenly becoming okay with speed. The idea is, let me have that adrenaline rush before I'm no more. So sometimes they could become experimental with speed, which might just look like adventurous, risky behavior. It could be in some cases, but it could also be the other way around, which is my risk-taking tendency is increasing because I don't have much urge to remain safe.
Okay.
So watch out. Somebody who used to value their bike so much, now suddenly they are like,
it's okay.
It's okay. Speed. Second, substance.
Yeah.
Experimenting with substance. Alcohol, drugs. Suddenly it's like, doesn't matter what I do to my body because I'm not going to be there for. So S, speed, substance. The other S that, studies are talking, and I've also come across some cases, is sexual experimentation. suddenly becoming very, very reckless when it comes to sexual activity, no protection, licentious behavior, multiple partners. Yeah. The fourth is, what do you think? Spending, borrowing money and throwing a party. And people are like, why are you doing it? And they're like, no problem, let's enjoy. So suddenly when we see these changes in
Very unusual behaviors.
let's be careful. Let's be careful. Yeah. And also digital search histories. I'm not encouraging people to be snoopy, but gone are the days when we are talking about Google, what questions we asked on Google. Today, ChatGPT, AI. What if a child is engaging in a conversation with ChatGPT, something on mental health or suicide? And let's say this child is now revealing what they're going through to ChatGPT. Now, is ChatGPT equipped to guide children safely out of suicide? Or imagine I am a child and I think ChatGPT is the only one who understands me, answers me. And then I confide that, I'm thinking of suicide. What are the next mechanisms? Mechanisms are not in place. We really need to be very, very careful, because children are using AI. Yeah, but if they don't become digital literates, meaning somebody who not just understands how to use it, but also understands the consequences of it. That must happen. Without that, we might encounter situations that we are not prepared for.